Hey everyone, Temporal here, and for this session we are primarily reviewing a Plat Anna. Going to start with just a moment Zen, but if you guys are enjoying the content, please do like and subscribe, as that helps out quite a bit, and I really do appreciate that. Temporal is reading my mind with what I want to see. I hope so, YS. Hope we got what you want to see. You charging up here with the right click, fine. Are you going to turn for that? No.
We all represent
Harmony's on
potential.
Doomfist? Okay. So, we've gotten ourselves surrounded. Awkward Zen. And we can micro this if we want. Let's go back here just a moment. Here we are. There's our Doomfist. We should recognize that the Doomfist is the better orb than the Junkrat. We do. Good. We go up, and I like that we've charged this, and as we peek where we expect the enemy to be, we've got 4 orbs. I do like that. We're deciding not to shoot at the Diva. We are missing that, like, wait a second, there is a Mercy that we just saw fly across our screen. We just saw, yes, I'm stalling for time for my Epic Pen to load, this Mercy up here fly across our screen, which means she's attached to either a Fair or an Echo. We want to strongly consider flicking this. We've still got a little bit of time. We can hold these 5 orbs that we've got charged up for just a little bit, and wouldn't it be great to be like, ooh, Echo got slapped in the face with a 5 orb. Wouldn't that be great? You can do it. I believe in you, and you have had the input. But no, and those aren't really right, and maybe it's because you changed your mind, but if you were going to fire these, you wouldn't hit the wall with these. You'd be like, it's going right here, or it's going right here and being dragged up slightly. Like, that's what you'd have gone with. Or, hey, there's no one here, so I'll shoot it right above the ground in case someone happens to walk into it. That's what we would have gone with. But that's okay. We just try to do better. Now there's this ball here. I'm not really sure we wanted to immediately charge up another 5 orb here, to be perfectly honest, because what we do here is charging up this 5 orb before we can peek, no problem. And now we have it, and this made sense. But now, we're thinking about charging up a second 5 orb, this time when we know where an opponent is, without getting a Discord orb out there first? No. Discord orb is so important. It is so much of Zenyatta's value to his team. You want to get that out there, and you've got full health. You can afford, after these stickies go off, because you don't want to step into them as they're exploding, after they go off, peek out, get a Discord on the Echo, get a Discord on the Diva, get a Discord on the Mercy, whatever it's going to do there, but let's get that out before we go into, hey, let's try and play the lottery, charging another right click here. Best Echo getting hit with multiple orbs impression ever. Thank you, Malky. Okay, and I'm glad that he showed up and we were able to be like, yes, no, now we've got it. Cool. Get another Discord out. Again, we see this Mercy. The Mercy is repeatedly the tell. Repeatedly the tell of where the Echo is. And you're charging, but does it make sense to be charging here? Does it make sense to be charging a right click here? You knew where this Echo and Mercy were the whole time. You knew where they were as you went into this right click charge. So it didn't make sense because these guys were available to shoot at if you just turned your screen. You didn't have to move or anything. You didn't have to take time for them to be vulnerable. You just had to turn to face them and start firing left clicks. Charging right clicks is a loss of damage per second. And I'm using that term damage per second in the correct way here. Like, it actually is a loss in damage per second. What it is a gain in is it's a gain in safety if you're doing it with cover, which you're not right now, and it can be a gain in pick-off potential because you can sort of burst someone from 100 to 0 instead of giving them time to react, like taking left-click damage does of, oh, now they go behind cover before they take a second to third hit, etc. So it can be useful for pickoff, and it can be useful for protection, and it can be useful for like storing power for the future when people put up defensives. None of those apply right here, because these guys were visible to you the whole time. You might not have been looking at them the whole time, but you could have been. You had the clues to be. You don't start charging right click to hide you turning your camera time. There's no limit to how fast you can turn your camera. I assume that's true. Let me take a look at our message. Yeah, I didn't see anything about you being on console, so I believe that that is the case. Okay, no limit on turn speed. I'm not really sure I want to chase this. Like, you're deciding that you're going to beat those two. And again, this charge. Like, okay, you're fighting, and you recognize here that you're fighting. And you go, hey, I did this. Why? Why am I charging a right click? She's on my screen. She's pre-discorded. I can shoot left clicks at her. If I'm going to tuck over here, I can charge a left click. But I'm not going to stare at her while I'm charging a right click. Come on now. You don't charge orbs in the open Plats then? Okay, okay. Could be the title. I think we're going to spend more time on Anna than Zen in this video, but okay. Mm-hmm. Right idea. Well, mostly the right idea. So this is kind of good. You correctly recognize that this is a spot that someone could appear. You probably would have been better off with this spot right here because you knew Anna was actually behind that spot. But there's a perfectly real possibility that someone will come around this spot. So I don't mind releasing the orbs here. But it's rare that you want to release the orbs like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Like that. Generally what happens is you want to drag them slightly out. You want to drag them slightly away from the cover because usually people sort of come barreling around cover. They kind of go like this type thing. They don't go, okay, and let me walk up right across the wall. That's not usually what they're doing. So you drag out a little bit. So you want your orbs to be like here, 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 and they got 5 orbs. That's sort of how you want it to have happened, usually. And that's not what you're going to do here. You were like all 5 of those right there. Maybe you dragged a little bit left on the last one. That's not generally our best bet. Temporal's review distribution is pretty even between the 3 rolls. Yeah. Cool, cool.
Embrace tranquility.
Okay. Again, I don't know why you're so interested in fighting these guys. I'm totally fine with this, but why are you guys fighting? Like, I'm totally fine putting the Discord orb on her, but why are you so interested in fighting her in general in the open? Like, you're almost taking 1v2s with her aggressively. Yeah.
Adjusting angle of attack.
Are your own worst enemy. It was nothing.
Sure. Left clicks, better. Get that Harmony Orb back on Ryan. Why? You're so late on this. Like, you should already be charging a right click because you know the next thing you're likely to do is advance with your team, and you'd like to be able to send out that charged right click with this time that you're not getting any value out of. Like, start investing your time. And then you remember it when you're here, and now the angle is open and you've only charged up 2 orbs. At this point, I'd have rather not charged up orbs. I'd rather have my hands free, ready to go, ha, 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 with, you know, the individual orbs. Should he have been charging orbs the whole time he's just walking around? Well, right there, yes, but not the whole time necessarily. It's when you're coming up on something that you expect to peak. That you expect, I'm going to peak this, and I can peak this with 4 orbs ready. You time it around that.
Experience tranquility.
No, thank you. Okay, so you want to move your Harmony Orb to Anna. No problem. Move that Harmony Orb to Anna. still move it to Ana. It's going to get, 50% plus strength. Harmony Orb on Ana, Discord Orb on Tracer. This situation is partially taken care of. Like, with no mechanical requirements, okay, with very, very minimal mechanical requirements, Harmony Orb here, Discord Orb here, you haven't hit any shots yet, and you've done a lot to relieve the pressure. Might she still get your Ana? Yes. Yes, she might. But you can do a lot to relieve this situation just by moving these two orbs around, without even hitting a single shot.
Experience tranquility.
Instead, we hit Transcendence. That would not have been my choice. And yes, I see that Echo was the winner gunner. I don't care. They just win this. My face in reaction to trans.
Overconfidence is a flimsy shield.
Okay, got the Harmony on Doom. I like that. No quick peek? Like, as you're walking through, again, that Mercy was there. You want to look and be like, can I get a Discord on that? Can I get a Discord on the thing that her beam is linked to up there? Can I? Might have been out of range, but can you do it? If not, can you keep it honest with some left clicks?
I understand.
The pain crit against Temporals. Yeah, some of these VODs get pain crits against me.
Gaze into the
Kind of slow to move the orb. Okay.
The cycle? No.
Good. Discord. There you go.
Within you.
Okay. Gonna reapply your Harmony Orb because both your orbs came back. Throw it on McCree. Perfect.
Be one with the universe.
No, rotate with your team. Your team is in way before you. You see how these guys are all in way before you and you're going to be late to the fight? This was totally avoidable. This was a Harmony Orb McCree and then move along type situation. This was not a let me stay around and see what's happening. Your team was clearly moving on. You wanted to be with them. Okay. So, Harmony Orb on Ana. Harmony Orb on Ana. Ana's better because Ana just got hit by the pile drive. Generally, Doomfist is a good Harmony Orb target for you. He benefits a lot from having your Harmony Orb. He can go in, he can play more aggressive with it. But if you can protect Ana, you'll save her, you'll protect her from doing things like investing healing Nade in herself. And that's really valuable. So if you can top her back off when you have the opportunity, it's pretty high priority to do so.
There is disquiet in my soul.
I mean, I guess. I still want to heal Ana. You don't, though. Hey, Semitic. Okay, so that's the end of that round. Are we on 10 now?
Ready. Never for the fight. Everyone dies.
Okay, we are. So the things that are interesting to us about our Zen would be, hey, we really want to do a better job of understanding our right versus left click, and like we want to charge up right clicks when we're behind cover, when we have some degree of safety and we can peek with them. And we do want to charge them up so that the timing of when we peek we'll have 4 or 5 orbs available to throw. Left clicks should replace any situation where by the time we'd want to fire or by the time we'd have an option to fire at something reasonably good, we'd only have charged up 1 to 3 orbs. Left click should replace those. Like, that's a general way to think about it. So like if you are holding a right click and there's an enemy at you that you could be shooting at on your screen, or should be on your screen, you're just not facing the right direction, you shouldn't have invested in the right click in the first place. And yes, that's a hindsight thing, but you have to understand it in hindsight before you can get it right in foresight. And foresight is a very good thing for Zen because it helps you pick when to charge your right clicks. It also helps you guess where to send right clicks to get lottery eliminations, as they sometimes get called, to get those pickoffs of someone rounding a corner, which is something where, hey, you just kind of expect a couple of those a match. That's what you get for having Zen on your team. Like, those things matter, those things add up. So like getting this difference between our right and left click right on Zen is something that we actively do want to work on. We also are going to have to be faster at getting our Discord and Harmony Orbs out there. Like, okay, wasn't getting on Doomfist as fast as I would have liked in some situations. You were going into right-click charges, which don't let you move your orb around after you'd already sent off a volley. After you've already sent off a volley, you need to get a Discord orb up. If you've sent off a volley and now the teams are fighting, it's not just like a massive 100 meters away from each other poke war. After that first charged right-click volley, there should be a Discord orb out. Generally before you look to start charging up that next volley. Now, if there's nothing available to Discord and you can't make anything available to Discord, fine. The fight's not real and you go back to charging up right clicks. But like usually there's an option, you just have to peek to get it. And you should do so if you've got the health. If you don't have the health, you could go into another right-click charge while you recover the health and then throw the Discord orb after that right-click, but the Discord orb should basically go out with the right-click. You shouldn't be doing a situation if the fight is happening where you sent out a right-click and then you go into charging another one. It's just too valuable during the fight. So make sure that Discord orb is out more, and then get a little bit more attention on, hey, where's my target? Specifically, I'd like to be healing my Ana. Yes, I knew you were not your Ana last round, but I'm pointing because it's an Ana here. Other than that, enabling the Doomfist was good, though could have been faster.
Hello there. 3.
Oh, it's Starsville. Hey, how you doing? Or it's how you doing, man? How you doing? You guys, that's another Overwatch coach there. You can certainly check out their content. They're over here on YouTube, so feel free to take a look. But I'm doing well, man. What about you?
Round 2. Capture the objective. I'm ready.
Semitic, I just stare at my health debating if I should bite the bullet and do it myself or hold Nade for an opportunity to anti. Well, that's the thing. You have to sort of make that decision. You do make sure you press that X button once, though. Press that I need healing button. Because a lot of people have been, like, trained wrong of like, oh, I shouldn't press this. It's obnoxious if I press this. No, absolutely press it. If you're Ana, absolutely press that I need healing button. Remind your Lucio, your Zen, your Bap, your Mercy, whatever, that, hey, come heal me so I don't have to do it myself. If they still don't do it for a few seconds, or if you get into trouble or are about to get into trouble, yeah, you're then going to have to nade yourself. But give them the reminder if you're not already. It's like nade or not nade. Okay.
I've seen it. You're going to live. Help me.
Yeah, you don't have the best luck with Lucio's Flaw. Fine. Turn left? Excuse me? This is fine.
Heal up. The objective is
This soldier is full. Let's please not blind walk across this. Like, actually take your peek. Like, is something circling around? Is there anything you need to be aware of? You're just walking across an opening and like, oh, no, what could go wrong? No. Please take a look. It's not going to slow you down meaningfully to take a look through there. Sure. D.Va first. Good.
just a scratch. You'll be fine.
Okay, you see that ball to your right? Tried. You have a tough time now. Okay, you've... Okay. No sleep there?
Walk it off.
Like, this is very controlled movement that this ball is giving you. You absolutely sleep this. 100%. I don't know why you're going for a shot first. Maybe you're trying to maximize uptime with shot, sleep, shot. Maybe that's what you're trying to do, but you absolutely shoot here with your sleep. Yeah. Okay. You can hit the shot. I promise. I promise you can hit the shot rather than open up a 10-second cooldown. But we'll live. Okay, I'm good. Just watching Temporal, the LeBron of Overwatch coaching. Thank you. Don't undersell yourself here, though. Like, you know, you've got some skills, and I think everyone knows that. Bad Reddit Lucios throw games, good Reddit Lucios carry games and produce entertaining content. Okay, okay. I'd say some of the time when they're not carrying games, some of that is like it looks like they're throwing when they're doing stuff for, like, how do I want to put that? Some of that is they're doing the fun stuff, and the fun stuff is fun and can carry games, but if it doesn't work, you'd have blamed them for throwing. So, like, that's maybe not totally fair. Um, the I need healing voice line only bothers me if you constantly do it when you don't need it. I understand that, Semitic, but some people have, like, there was so much negative words around that voice line, the meme of the Genji that always needs healing, that it did lead some people to believe that they're really not supposed to press the button even when it's appropriate. Like, it came through at a lower resolution than might have been hoped for some people. You hate shooting Moiras. I'm Deanna, by the way. Yeah, but this was a friendly Moira. It's not hard. It's not hard. You get a more generous hitbox slightly for your friendly shots. Like, you can do it. It's not a big deal. A good Reddit, Lucio, is one that's so far in the backline they're on a different map. I mean, you could do that on this map, right? Like, you could be like, hey, I'm so far in the backline that I'm up. Oh, no, it's done. That I'm down over here. So far in the backline that I'm down over here. That's a good Reddit, Lucio, I bet. Okay.
You're going to be okay.
Harder to do that on payload, 2CP, etc. Okay, let's take a look here.
Going to be okay.
Here we go. You walk into this. We obviously don't love this situation because it forces us to play closer than we like, but we have a Rhine into Moira, so we'll do it. You hear that Lucio behind you, so that should cause you to walk into your team a little bit more. No, we're not going to go chase him down. Team's rotating with us, no problem. And you hear that Winston. Like, these audio cues really matter, because you do hear this Winston to your left, and that's a problem. Do you need to deliver your sleep dart to control this Winston? You might. Like, could be interesting stuff going on over here, don't get me wrong, but this Reinhardt looks pretty healthy right now. This Orisa is paying attention in this direction. We need to make sure we don't get run over from here. So I'm thinking about a quick check left to see if the sleep dart is appropriate.
Taking damage.
Okay, now you're under pressure, and you're going to be on a shorter time frame, and he's going to know it for when you have to get your sleep dart out. You're going to self-nade, right?
Heal up.
Okay, so I can live with this. I can live with the self-nade, but I actually wanted my self-nade more in this direction, because you didn't know if this Winston was back here or right here, really. And you kind of want your self-nade. You want it to get you, but you want it to threaten to get him. That'll help him create a little more distance. You also, again, wanted to be able to know, hey, when he was zapping someone else, was there a chance to sleep him when he wasn't paying attention? Like, you put yourself on a really short timer, and that timer was how quickly he can take you from 100% to 0 by not having prepaid attention to him, and by being so late with your nade here. That extends your timer a little bit, but we still haven't done anything to actively solve it, and then you miss. Okay, so we could go over this. He's making it a little easier than some Winstons would. He's just repeatedly hopping, and because he's hopping, we can actually tell where he's going. He sort of hopped like this. So his movement is pretty predictable to us. I can't quite draw in 3D, so it's not quite this wide. It's a little more turned effectively, but that's what he did. Turned effectively. So that actually lets you know where he's going to go, and this is an easier sleep dart to hit than normal. Now, you don't know his bubble status. He may well still have his bubble, in which case you're doomed, because you can't really push in closer to him to sleep him, because you've already spent too much of your health. If you had more of your health left, you could push in closer to him, where you could basically force the sleep, because you could go, I have until you burn me to 0 to get the sleep off, and you cannot, if I step into what would be your bubble deploy range, block me, with your bubble. So like you don't have that option, so you just have to aim properly to hit this. And again, you see he's going up like this, so you have to understand he's going to fall like this. He can't move it. Your sleep has a little bit of a aim then shoot, and it's a projectile, though a very fast moving one time. So what we do here is we understand, no, we wanted to be shooting lower. We wanted to be shooting lower. We almost got there in time, but our timing for when we got our crosshair low enough was just a little too slow. Little bit. How did my aim is bad? Yeah, but the first piece to making your aim good, and I know that was in reference to something else, it's just an appropriate response to this, is going to be getting predictive of where they're going to be. That's absolutely going to matter. It actually even matters for when you're hit scan scope shotting, but it's especially going to matter for your projectile sleep shot, for your projectile hip fire. And, that's not a mechanic skill, that's an understanding skill. So that's not hard and intimidating. Predicting where opponents are going to be, well, you can see their movement. Well, you can infer what they want to do. Do they want to go towards a health pack because they're low health? Do they want to go behind cover because they're low health? Do they want to chase you because you're low health? Like, do they want to come forward because you're low health? You infer this, and that helps you aim without actually you having to get better at mechanically aiming.
I will keep you healed.
Okay, sure.
Patched up.
It's kind of cool being able to see different cops from each other. Yeah. Could have surfed the gem. Not going to get into that right now, but yes. Never realized they were actually connected. It's all connected. Puts on foil hat. Okay, Plat. Honestly, if Ana reacted quicker, which isn't hard with Winston damage, don't even have to nade if sleep to hit earlier. Yeah, that's true. You can sleep them. You only need you only need sleep to protect yourself from Winston, but it's harder. Like, let's not pretend it's not harder. You give yourself a longer timer to find that sleep dart that you want, to make sure that his bubble isn't going to be in the way, isn't going to deploy and be a problem if you do the self-nade, preferably if you do the self-nade that also gets or threatens to get him. And that can be one of the things that gets the bubble deployed that then allows your sleep to hit. Cover? Surely we're going to wander to cover.
You're powered up. Get in there.
I mean, okay, but like, what if instead of nanoing, not that I have a problem with nanoing, we just healed him? Like, you take quite a while to find this nano. Like, you're not doing anything with your crosshair right now. Like, you can put some damage pressure if we want. You can put some damage pressure on this Lucio. You can put some damage pressure on this Mercy. You can put a heal into your Soldier. You can put some damage pressure on this Tracer. All of these are valuable things. And watch how much just downtime there is here for you.
You're powered up. Get in there.
That was like 2.5, 3 shots worth of time.
Tactical visor activated.
And Ana has relatively slow shots.
You're powered up. Get in there.
Excuse me, Ana. You still have 4 shots in your clip. 3 shots in your clip. 3 shots in your clip, Ana. Plenty of things going on right now. Plenty of things you can shoot at. Don't need that reload. Even if they're just ineffective shots like that, which are like, hey, I'm doing damage to a mech. Better than reloading.
It's just a scratch. You'll be fine. The pain is coming. I'm on fire. Keep out of my way.
Okay. Let's tuck back over here, and let's know where our cover's going to be. High ground, I'm okay with this. Oh, your team's going to push forward. You have to go right. You have to join them on the right. You can't play from here. You can't do it.
Supercharger is ready to be deployed.
So I'd be good with your plan. I'd be good with your plan of, hey, we have a McCree and a Soldier and a Ana and a Orisa. Let's hold the high ground. I would be totally good with your plan. But they have said, no, no, no. We have a Moira and a Reinhardt. We're going to hold in here, which totally sucks for you, but is what you're going to have to do. And it sucks even more when they have this like dive comp here that you're like, I don't really like this. They're better than us at close range, except for these two. I'd like my distance. I'd like to be able to put pressure on divers as they're staging, as they're trying to take space. You and these guys over here might like to do that, but your team's not down for that, so you're going to push up. The problem is you don't have a tank on this side. If you had your Reinhardt over here and your Orisa over here, you could play like this. But if you are going for a close hold, which your team has decided that they're doing, you're going to have to go up and join them from that side. You're just not going to be able to play from this side as Anna against Lucio, Diva, Winston, Tracer, Genji. And I think you immediately recognize that. Like in hindsight, you're probably going, what am I doing going here? Your options were either to go join and support this side of the push or go, nope, I hope they don't get eliminated. I'm going to hold back here and maybe I'll heal them from here or something, and I'm going to pretend that this is where we're holding. And it's not great because your team is operating on two different plans, but hopefully these guys are going to very soft hold and disengage. Those were your two options. Nowhere in your option list was this. This was not in your option list. Maybe you're thinking, hey, it's going to be great. I'm going to hit an awesome off-angle nade, but you're just going to be too vulnerable and too close to them to hit this off-angle nade against a team that's too mobile. I feel this Anna's pain. I hate it when my team decides to push close to enemy spawn. I hear ya. I mean, it's appropriate with some compositions. High five, Tracer. Pretty accurate about what you were thinking. Good.
Group up with me.
Watching your back.
Okay. Use your tanks as shields. They're going to rotate. Use them as shields. Okay, you can go with Winston if you want. Moira will cover the other team. There's a nade to be found here. Find your moment. Okay. You go here. You hit your shot. You hit your next shot. I don't want an offensive shot. Like, I don't want an offensive shot really at all. I was still pretty interested in what was going on over here. I know my team is critical. And again, Diva, like big tanky targets are not terribly efficient offensive shots for Anna. Anna likes heal shots because they're just the most valuable thing that she has in a lot of ways, but there's absolutely times where damage shots make sense. But damage shots, when they do make sense, they make sense because she's not particularly high damage with her shots and because her shots take a lot of time. Effectively, it's a very big investment, each Anna shot. I don't know why I'm drawing a wavy plus sign here. That would be those. It's a very big investment to take your Anna shot. It's a very big investment. Like, hey, the recoil's like, 0.7 seconds, 0.8, 0.9 seconds. Like, that's a really slow shot rate of fire. So where you want to put those for the relatively low damage they are, you can put pressure on a tank if you've got nothing better to do. But if you've got a squishy that you can shoot at on the opposing team, even if it's a harder shot than the tank, it's usually better to go for the squishy. Now, I don't care where your nade goes. If your nade is hitting tanks because it's hitting their tank and your tank, fantastic, no problem. If you're going, I don't trust myself to hit a sleep on that target, but I do on the tank and we'll take this done, fine with me. But for your offensive shots, especially we've got a scope, it becomes hit scan, all that, please try to send those either on squishies or in this case, the preference would have been on your team. It's a pretty low priority shot to shoot at tanks offensively as Anna. It's still worth doing, but it's pretty low priority. What's not actually worth doing is breaking shields with Anna's weapon. And that's kind of like the same principle of like, we've hit diminished returns on hitting a tank. We've got just not worth it returns on hitting a shield. Whereas hitting an enemy squishy, hey, that's got value. Hitting teammates that actually need the full benefit of the heal, that's got value. Hitting teammates that would get some benefit from the heal, but not the full value, that's got some value, but that enemy squishy kind of looked more interesting. Things like that. That's not a perfect metric, but if you thought about it heuristically like that, you'd do okay. Okay. Yeah, you did not have to lose your Reinhardt there. You probably didn't have to lose your Moira either. Okay.
لسه في ناس لازم تحميهم. You're powered up. Get in there.
Why?
You're powered
You're
up.
here.
Get in there.
Cool. I guess you want your Moira bad enough, so you healed your Moira, and now you back into your spot? Good.
Go. I'll keep you here.
Questionable reload.
Go. I'll keep you here.
Okay. I'm interested in what's going on over to the left. Can we go take our 3v1? Can we be like, oh yes, let's take our 3v1? Of course he's gonna run, but like, that's worth doing. Oh, you're cabin point now. Okay. Tuck in, tuck in. Don't be in the open like this. We capped. Great. I have zero desire to be here. I don't even have a desire to be on the point, but I probably won't get off the point before the game ends. So I would like to back myself into here. I can shoot at soldier as I'm backing myself into here, but I'd like to back myself into here, where I have potentially cover against both of those entrances. I have definite cover against that entrance. I can interfere with that entrance while being protected from this entrance. I have the ability to close my angle on both of them and still interact with the high ground, heal up my hit scanner or holding spot. I want to get myself to cover. Cover. This is scary. Why are you here? And you're here, so Tracer's like, oh, gimme. You hit the sleep, which is good.
Heal up.
Okay.
هاخد بالي منك.
Okay. Round 3 it is. Yes, you got it. Rip that nano. Love 59. Okay. Okay.
I'm acknowledged. Salam.
Ready for battle.
Okay.
There's nothing I
Ready
can
for
do.
battle.
Stick together. We will complete our mission.
Three, two, one. Round 3. Capture the objective.
Yeah, no, we understood.
You're covered.
You're easy sleep. Easy sleep. He's pile driving. He just made the sound effect. He's pile driving. You can already be pressing this sleep button because his movement is controlled. He's going to do a little spinny thing, and then he's going to come down. So you already know what his movement is going to be. You can already predict. Remember, this doesn't require good aim in the traditional sense of how good is your mouse control. This requires, hey, I know where he is and where he's going to be, and I'm going to use that information to do my best to put my crosshair at where I think that is. No, no. This is a cop-out. This is a cop-out to use your nade, and then your nade isn't even aggressive enough to get him. The sleep was what we wanted for the ball.
Everyone heal up.
Probably don't scope here. You can heal this team well enough without your scope, and we start to worry about what's on the left. If you're gonna scope, you're working your way back into here, and you're playing from here. We've got cover against other directions.
Help me.
You hear it. Turn, turn, turn and look. Your team is perfectly healthy. Please turn and look. If you'd turned and looked at that,
Help me.
congrats. McCree stunned him, and you'd have easily chained the stun here. And he'd have taken probably another 300 damage. At least another 200 damage.
The objective is now
You can ignore ball for a moment. He won't come back for a second. Okay. Fine.
Heal up.
But the ball's coming back.
Securing
Mhm.
objective.
Get in there.
Yeah, you do. Guess I need to work on reaction speed. It's not reaction though.
It'll
Like
take more than
it
that
is
to keep me
reaction,
out of
but
the
it's
fight.
like it's not actually. Oh, I need to go faster. I need to think faster. We substitute for increasing your reaction speed by making you think more predictively. So you get to react when the ball is up here as opposed to like after the ball's hit and you're like, oh shoot, there's a ball. Like you get the incomings of, oh, you saw the Mercy going across your screen. That means the Echo is going to come around. Oh, you saw the ball rolling in. That means he's going to likely go for a pile driver or a roll through. You start predicting and you start limiting in your mind the possibilities of the options that he's going to do based on the information that you have. And when you see he does this, this is predictive that you're going to hit him with his sleep dart, with your sleep dart down here or here, not up here. It's not like some, oh, I sleep dart and then I rip my aim down type thing. No, it got predictive. So we're limiting your need for reaction speed. The other thing we're doing to limit the need for you to increase your reaction speed, which is hard to do, is we're making you think about this game in a way that is very, we want you to build habits. It's not so much thinking about the game. We want you to build habits. I know the ticky sound is annoying. I'll get rid of it in a sec. We want you to build habits so you aren't thinking about 100 things or 10 things or 50 things or 300 things every minute. You were like, I have autopilot solution. I don't even have to think about it. I just sleep balls with a pile drive unless there's a Zarya on the table. Like, that's just something I do. Like, or, unless there's a diva close by. Things like that, where you go, this is just the thing that I do, and you've trained that reaction, so your brain is doing less things. So it's less reaction, so you have more brain power to think about what's coming next. Like, we're really not trying to be like, just aim better, just react faster. Like, we're giving you the tools, and we're trying to increase the sharpness of your tools to make this a simpler problem to solve. I hope that makes sense.
I'm with you. My ultimate is charging.
Get behind me!
I will keep you here. Under attack! Get into position. I'm under attack. I need to recharge. Get me along. Get healed.
So, here we are. We're pushing up. We see this. We're going to reload in part because we're low, in part because people that we'd like to heal are purple. I'll live with it. There's that ball over there. Everyone's pretty healthy. You could take a shot at the ball right now. You're instead going to just kind of shoot at nothing. Now you're thinking about your Rhine and this. Do we need this? Do we really need this for our Zarya? Like, who's in trouble right now? Just your Zarya? Is your Zarya really in trouble? Like, look at your screen right now. There's a diva who's, like, been flashbanged who's facing the wrong direction. Your Moira has an orb in play already and is looking at your Zarya, and you're looking at your Zarya. Your Zarya still has about 30-40% health. No one else has an angle on Zarya. There's no one standing here that's like, pew, pew, pew. There's no one standing here that's like, yeah, I'm about to drop on you. There's no, I don't know, Tracer about to blink in from over here that you're aware of. Like, this is the sort of thing where you have to recognize this is too valuable to spend like this. Now, if you were throwing your nade over here to get the diva and your Kree, or if your Zarya was standing where your Kree is, sure, no problem. I can live with that when this diva isn't looking or is stunned and can't DM it, sure. But this is a nade that is really just meant for your Zarya when there's already too much resource spent on your Zarya, and your Zarya isn't in danger. This is like a you feel panicked, so you're trying to rush healing your Zarya when there's no need to do so. Like, there's no need to do this. If your Zarya was hard brawling with this diva right now, sure. But she's not. The diva's trying to retreat. Your team has a massive advantage over this diva. This diva, again, is heading out. Your Zarya has tucked out and is now mostly behind cover against the enemy team. Just heal this with your rifle, if even.
Get healed.
Great. So now everyone has bonus healing on them, but they were already full health except for the Zarya. Like, this doesn't qualify as I saved myself healing time by group healing because everyone was already full. And now we're going to hit our sleep because we know what this ball is going to do. Oh, we heard it. We heard it. We saw it. We're pressing that sleep dart button. We can predict exactly where this ball is going to be.
Enemy down.
Our McCree would have been happy to fan that ball if we'd slept it.
Get back.
Tuck further. You're not taking offensive shots right now, and the entire team that you want to impact is here. So don't be here where McCree, for example, could shoot at you, or who knows who could shoot at you. Be back here. Because your team, the people you want to impact, are here. If you want to take shots at McCree, absolutely peek this. If there was someone out there that you needed to heal fighting McCree, no big deal. If there was someone out there, yeah, that would suck, but you might have to peek to heal them. But there's not. So close the angle on the part of the fight that you're not interacting with. Don't give it a chance to interact with you.
My cast is forth. My ultimate is fully charged. Get in there.
Sleep? Really? Like, just automatic. Just, like, automatic. Automatic, I hear high noon, sleep is off cooldown, have a sleep. You're wrong and it gets DM, it gets bubbled, Pharah drops and barrages from here or something, and you wish you had sleep for it, I don't care. Just for now, train yourself to just, like, reflex, you high noon, I sleep you. Reflex. If I miss, no big deal. As you're trying to sleep, you can be backing off to the left. You can keep your crosshair trained on him as you're backing off and moving to the left to get behind cover in case your sleep misses, gets blocked, etc. But there's no reason not to go for the sleep here, even if you can't perfectly see him because Zarya's in the way between you and him. No reason not to have gone for that sleep. Now it's too late. Now you can't peek him because he got charge time on you. Okay. I don't know what that was about.
لسه في ناس لازم احميهم. I will keep you healed. I will keep you healed.
Okay, I see that your soldier is low health. I do. But Moira is behind your soldier, which means Moira can see that too. And there's a Reinhardt shield covering most of the direction that soldier is taking damage from. Maybe something can slip through here, but this is not worth investing our nade in. Like, our nade isn't going to get to him faster than our shot is either. Just take the shot. Take the shot. Trust the force. Believe in yourself. Whatever you want here, but don't use your nade. Please don't use your nade because you feel like, oh, I'm panicked and I'm afraid I'll miss the shot. The nade is not a substitute for just calming down and hitting the shot. Calm down, hit the shot. You missed the shot, no big deal. Give yourself a half-second break, 3/4 of a second break, and then take another shot. Like, mentally just be like, it's fine, it's good. Okay, I'm going to aim and hit the next shot. Oh, I missed it? Okay, that's a little annoying. But I got this one. Even if you're adding extra time between shots, it's fine. That's something that's helpful when you're missing those right in front of you shots that you feel like, oh, I'm embarrassed and I got to cover it with a nade. No, don't double down on the mistake.
نام. وريهم قوتك. نام.
Okay.
وريهم قوتك.
Okay, this is going to suck.
You're powered up. Get in there.
Okay. I don't love it, but this is the last fight, so okay. Why? Why is there so much downtime here? Sure. Okay, you've got 6 shots. Both of those tanks could use your healing right now, and you can heal them from here. You can absolutely heal both of those tanks from here. Why is there so much downtime? Either one of them could have used heals. So much downtime. Now we're going for a shot. That was so long. That was so long. You're not sleeping him? So this is what I'm talking about with predictive movement. there's pressure on him. He doesn't want to stop and take a firefight with you. He wants to keep advancing, take you out, and get on the point. He wants to keep advancing so he can potentially flash you. That's always on his list of things to do. But he primarily wants to keep advancing because he's worried about this point. And he wants to make sure, hey, there's only one of my friends on it. I need to get to this pretty soon. Anna isn't going to do the best job of tanking on the point. I need to get there. So he has pressure to go forward, which makes your sleep dart easier than usual. You can hit this sleep dart. He's going to try to walk forward. Once he walks forward enough, he can't walk this way because he's got a wall limiting his movement. That makes this easier than usual. So we're perfectly fine. We're perfectly fine to keep advancing. We don't need to do this. We do not need to do this. Oh, well, I'll deal. Did he actually go do something else instead? He did, which would have made him an even easier sleep, but that's okay.
I have your back.
Sure. Bunch of them needed healing. That was faster. I'll live. Okay. But again,
I have your back.
I'm on fire.
he has to come to point. He has to keep going forward. He has to. Forward is the name of the game for him. He has to go forward. Why? Like, we're just not dragging that crosshair fast enough. Eventually you're getting there, but you're not dragging the crosshair fast enough to, like, hit your flick, because your dart is leaving your sleep weapon before you're dragging it to the place you want it to be. And that's not the first time this has happened. So, like, flick faster or recognize that the shot goes out, I think, a little bit faster than you think. Yeah.
Whoa there. Hold up.
Good job.
I will lead us to victory.
Zarya is your hero.
The power of destruction.
For shutting down the blading Genji there? Yeah.
Recharge.
Okay. Why?
I need to recharge.
My team looks healthy enough. I'm pretty good to shoot at this Genji. Team looks perfectly healthy. Let's do that. 200 HP heroes, perfectly valid offensive targets. Yeah, my team still looks quite healthy. These guys are fine. I want to shoot this over here. This is what I want to do. This is what I want to do. No, I'm not interested in this. I'm not interested in opening the angle, finding more people to challenge. That Genji was already there and I could shoot at them. This Zarya doesn't need my attention. We're good. Shoot at the Genji. Please shoot at the Genji, not the wall.
Hello.
Yeah, this was always a bit risky. I don't know why you thought you could do that.
Hello.
Like, this is an opening, and it's an opening that opponents regularly come through. Why do you feel like you can rotate across this without assistance? It sucks, but you gotta go this way. You gotta. Like, you can't walk across this place unless you know that your Zarya drove them off a lot harder than I had any reason to believe she did. Like, this is your way in.
Help me. Get healed. Help me.
Ball had already left. If ball was still on you, absolutely. But ball had already left. You wouldn't have gotten a ton out of that, but you probably would have gotten 30 health out of that.
I have your back.
Okay. Good McCree shot. Follow-up McCree shot. Beautiful. Swap to Moira. Close the angle and swap to Moira. Like that, exactly. Except that's not Moira, that's McCree.
Healing enough.
It hurts, man. It hurts. You see this? Nade into this, no problem. His deflect is out. There's multiple targets. You get either of them, good. You get both of them, great. Throw a nade into this, no problem. Throw a nade into this? Absolutely not. Who exactly is threatening your Moira? The diva? The diva that's a million miles away? No, she's fine. Just heal her. Just heal her. Use your rifle. Now you don't have your nade.
Help me.
Temporal's pet peeve with Anna is using a nade when a shot would work just as well. Well, yeah, but there's reasons for that. Her nade is really good. Her nade is like mini ult almost doesn't do it justice. It's a really good ability. It does 4 things at once. It's like increased healing received. That's amazing. It's a heal itself. That's amazing. It takes away the opponent's ability to get healed. That is amazing. And it does damage. And it does all of these things as a small AoE. It is a freaking awesome ability. So if you go like, I'm going to use this 10-second cooldown that's amazing, where one single shot would have done the job instead, yeah, a bit of a pet peeve.
I've seen worse. We're going to.
I'm not really sure I wanted to be on point.
Step rat.
Okay, and that's fine. You can't find it fast enough. Plus, it's your McCree. Shallow, but I'll live. One single shot heals more than just one nade even. That's true.
My ultimate is charging.
My ultimate is almost ready.
My ultimate is
Get it and feast.
No. Please don't walk forward. Please tuck on this. You want your cover as an option against that direction, where you can tuck behind it, as well as having cover against this direction, which you've been punished for before. Like, I don't think so. I desperately want to be over here. Over here could get me safety if I wandered to something like here, but I don't want to do that. And I'm also worried about who's going to contest point. They're at 97% already. Our team isn't super fast. Like, I kind of don't trust my team. This was my preferred spot by quite a bit. Okay, you're going to force a charge of Nano.
Take your medicine.
That should have been slept. Look for a good Nano. Are we going to sleep that? I don't care if it gets eaten by DM. I really don't. Try to sleep it. Too late.
You're powered up. Get in there. Get here. Surrender. You're powered up. Get in there.
I understand what's going on here. You're pretending that you want Nano Coalescence to take down the enemy team. You're pretending that. What's actually going on is you weren't sure you could hit the shot to heal her. Because do we really want Nano Coalescence right now? Like, who can she tunnel on? Ball is going to get away. These guys, no. These guys are going to close the angle, and she's never actually going to follow up on them. Diva, no. Diva's going to get away. Like, this Coalescence isn't amazing, and you're, like, nanoing to make sure that you don't lose her and or the Coalescence. Which, like, I get it. I do. If the nano truly made the difference and saved her life, fine, reasonable. You guys can't afford to lose this team fight. Like, yes, that is true. But let's be serious for a moment. You dropped. You did this. She's right there. You know the Diva's to your right. She's already got vampiric healing with this thing, and you have the option to hit her with a shot. You
You're
totally
powered
do.
up. Get in
You
there.
totally have the option to hit her with a shot right here. And you'll have 2 chances to hit her with a shot before Ball eliminates her, even if she's not hitting anyone to siphon life from. Take your shot opportunity.
I feel unstoppable.
I wanted to nanovisor, but the soldier got eliminated, so I thought I should use it anyway. Sure, you can use it anyway, but you got to use it anyway in a situation where it can get value. So, like, as nano, you have to understand how the person that you're nanoing wants to be positioned in general to get value, and you also have to understand how they want to use their ult to get value in general. Because Moira has a good ult. Coalescence is solid. You could absolutely be like, hey, I have Coalescence. I have Coalescence right now. I'm going to Coalescence the Genji if he doesn't have Dash, and I'm going to get an elimination on the Genji. Totally valid. But she was down here when you nanoed her with no squishy in sight line that what she's generally looking for is a target that's like 1.5 to 2+ seconds away from cover, a squishy that she can go, my Coalescence, I'm going to pop it, and I'm going to eliminate them before they get to cover with it. That's sort of her highest and best use of Coalescence in most situations. She didn't have that. So you increased the strength of a play that she couldn't make. So her Coalescence had been downgraded to, I guess I'll sort of just like heal people up with this, maybe do a little bit of damage to these tanks that are out here, but we're definitely not going to eliminate anything, and you strengthened that play. So I know it's tough, but as a support, your job, because you're enabling other people, is to understand how those other people play well, what they would need to be doing to play well. Mercy's having this harder than most of the other supports, but Nano is a very Mercy boost like ult, and you've got to understand the same thing. You have to understand the exact same thing. And I think you just didn't have a good enough grasp of what is she going to do with this Coalescence here. I don't know if you play any Moira. Take the shot, Plat, Anna? It could be. Sure. Not going to deflect that? Okay. Or not going to nade that? Fine. Little dicey to nade if you don't know his deflect status because you wanted to land your nade between him and friendlies, but that's okay.
My ultimate is charging.
Winnable. Winnable.
My ultimate is charging.
You're going to have to explain to me why you feel like you're going to lose your 80% Zarya if you don't interrupt your reload, animation cancel your reload with a nade right here, rather than just wait for the rest of your reload to complete to hit this Zarya who's got 80% life. You're going to have to explain that one to me. And obviously I'm being difficult, but like, no. Like, this is a legit tech, and congratulations on hitting the tech where you've canceled a little bit of the reload animation to get the ability off. Congratulations, that's a good tech, but it's a good tech to be applied in narrow cases. This is not one of them because you do not need to deliver this nade right now. It's not worth it. If you were about to lose your Zarya and you couldn't afford to wait the time for the reload to finish to get the shot off, yeah, fantastic. Good use of the tech. Not appropriate here. But the res, like 100% the diva that's going to try to mech, you're going to interrupt with a sleep and lose her mech, right? Right? I mean, you slept the ball, which I'm happy about, but like 100% the diva.
You're coming.
Okay, I don't know about that reload. Again, not terribly efficient when this is available. You just don't do enough damage to seriously pressure tanks with your rate of fire and low damage for offensive shots. Squishies, absolutely. Tanks, not so much. Good. Sure.
Fire. Keep out of my way. This will help.
I'm under attack. I'm on fire.
Okay. So here's what we're going to do. To make your Ana better, we're going to do a couple things. The first thing is our nades are going to be with a purpose. Our nades are not going to be a substitute for poor aim. We like hitting nades when we can get purples. We like hitting nades when it's going to get, how shall I put this? We like hitting nades that are purples. We sometimes like hitting nades when we actually need the increased healing rate on people. So like we're nading our tank. If we can nade our tank and their tank, even better, or our tank and someone they're fighting, even better. But we're really doing it because we're going, hey, they're just taking too much damage and I need the increased healing rate to keep them up. Or I can use the increased healing rate to get them capped back off, and then I can convert from there into offensive shots or into heals on other people that are also behind, falling behind, etc. Those are the types of things we're using nades for. We can get into animation cancels with nades. We can get into, hey, it was a group heal with a nade that saved me time, which is a very similar concept to the previous category I just gave you. But the real thing with our nade is not equal to aim substitute. That's not what it is. Aim is not equal to, or nade is not equal to an aim substitute. It's not, oh, I'm scared I'm going to miss the shot, so I'm going to throw a nade. That's not what it's for. We're not throwing a nade at Genji or Tracer or Ball because it's easier to hit them with a nade than it is to shoot them with a shot. We're doing it because purple is really good. Like, that's what we're doing. So we're not going, hey, I'm afraid I'm going to miss the shot, so I'm going to hit the nade. If you miss the shot, that's totally fine. You'll hit the next one. And you can, especially when they're like out of combat, you can just settle down for a moment, breathe for a second, and then take the next shot. Totally fine if you miss a complete shot's worth of time. If you delay a complete shot's worth of time to try to sort of like mentally regain yourself to try to hit the shot. And if you still miss it, no big deal. That's what this is for. Like, that's what this is for. No big deal. The ladder is a place that you're practicing. You're trying to get better. That's okay. A-okay if you miss a shot, even after you've taken a moment to pause to give yourself time. And if there's like, hey, there's a fight happening over here, and Genji's standing right here waiting for you to heal him at 25% life, and you miss a shot, then you pause to give yourself a second, and then you miss another shot, and then he just kind of looks at you and judges you, I don't care. And you shouldn't care either. You'll just hit the next one. And if you don't, you're still not going to cave. You're still not going to cave. And Nate, you might walk into him and just like point blank hit the shot so you can't miss at that point. But like, doesn't matter. Really does not matter if you miss those shots. That is not a reason to then go use your nade because your nade is so valuable. You need it for self heals a lot of the time. Those purples are actually how you get offensive contribution, like the biggest part of it for Ana. They're amazing for extending brawls, letting fights continue, giving your team more time to find a solution to a fight. Like, they are amazing, and you can't afford to use them on, oops, I'm afraid I'm going to miss a shot, so I'm going to use a nade. Like, that can't be how we're using them. So we're going to fix that. But don't worry, I'm not heartless. We're going to give you other things to sort of work on your aim so you feel more comfortable hitting your shots. And what that is after you sort of ingrained in yourself the right or the correct way to use nades, then we're going to go on a bit of a journey. And our journey is going to be a journey that's focused on prediction. When we're playing Overwatch, we have to have an understanding of what's going to happen next. And this will help you a ton. This will help you with, hey, if you have prediction, you understand what ults are likely to happen. If you do prediction, you start understanding where people are going to go, which makes it easier for you to dodge shots, which also makes it easier for you to hit shots. You're also going to be able to go, I know where you're going, so I can hit my sleep dart. I know where you're going, so I can hit my nade. Like, prediction just makes Overwatch easier. It's going to help with your projectile stuff a ton, and it's even going to help a little bit with hit scan. But what we're looking to do is we're looking to try to figure out where someone is going to be. So when I say prediction, that's this big, huge category. We're going to narrow it down, but it will zoom out as you keep playing. And what we're narrowing it down to, we can start with the sleep darts. We can start with your sleep darts and say, hey, when you see balls go for pile drivers, we want you to just try to sleep them. Just try to sleep balls when they go for pile drivers. And that's perfectly fine. And if you miss, again, not a big deal. We're just going to try to get the timing, the prediction down on this. And then once we do that, we can evolve to use it a little bit more. Hey, We can do what I talked about here, where that McCree's movement is a bit more predictable. Even if this particular case doesn't feel like it applies, there will be cases like what I described, where their movement is limited by this, where the point is giving them pressure, where the fact that a Winston is chasing you and they want to keep coming forward, which makes their movement more predictable, because at least some of their momentum is going to be forward. It's not all going to be to the left or the right or back. Some of it is going to be forward, which makes their movement more predictable, which makes these things easier to hit. So like, I'd like you to work on prediction specifically in the realm
What's up, kiddo?
Victory.
specifically in the realm of what your sleep of trying to hit your sleep darts. Like, that's what I want you to work on. I'm not trying to say, oh, get more accurate with your sleep darts, like move your mouse better. I want you to predict this stuff. You had a little bit of a thing with the timing of moving your mouse, which you should get to work on. You should be like, wait, it comes out a little bit faster than I think I do, it looks like, with your sleep dart. But we want you to focus on, I'm going to try to predict where the enemy is going to be with my sleep darts, and then we're going to evolve that into other parts of your game, which is going to give you a little bit more there. Now, a third thing I will give you will be easier to track, and I'm probably giving you too much. I'm not going to give you a third thing. But if I were to give you a third thing,
Thanks.
it would be not happening, apparently. No, Overwatch doesn't want to give me my mouse. Okay, so what it would be this understanding that you don't want to open the angle. You don't want to open the fight to being influenced by angles that you're not currently trying to influence. So close angles on opponents that you're not shooting at. Close angles even on allies that you're not healing if you're healing allies in a different part of the fight. Don't let a part of the fight influence you that you can't influence. Close angles to deal with that. But I'm not giving you that as a third thing, because 2 is such a big topic. Even though we've narrowed it specifically to sleep darts and we've said start with Hammond, 2 is a big enough topic that I don't want you to go wild trying to do a bunch of other things at once. So first you're going to work on the nades, and that is going to take some work because it's kind of a crutch, and we're taking away your crutch. And then we're going to get into this predictive stuff. And specifically, we're going to get into the predictive stuff for your sleep darts, and I'd even start with Hammond and Winston as, like, I'm specifically thinking about how Hammonds and Winstons are going to move for my sleep dart usage. I hope those make sense. I gave you some hard stuff to work on here. Like, I gave you some hard stuff to work on here, no joke. So expect this to be hard. Don't expect to be like, I played 5 games, I got this. I played 6 games, I got this. I played 10 games, I got this. No, these are going to be harder ones to get down. But if you have questions, you can throw them up here. You can come back and comment. You can try to hit me with a message on Discord. If it's too complicated, I might say, hey, we need to do another VOD review. But I can try to answer brief questions for you just as a quick message response there. Okay. Let's take a look here. Okay, let's take a look here. Oh, I'm being trolled by other coaches and reviewers now. Okay, so let's take a look. Can I please have my mouse back? There we go. Thank you. Okay, so let me catch up on chat now. If you guys are enjoying the content, please do like and subscribe, as that helps out quite a bit, and I really do appreciate it. Supports are all 200 HP, so they'd cap out at 100 each. Oh, you guys are thinking about how to maximum healing you could technically get out of a nade. Okay. Call it Temporal gets 49% flustered about bad nade usage. Okay. Okay. I remember a video of 2 GM soldiers showing how bad Visor is by dueling, one using Visor, the other just regular shooting. The regular shooting one most of the time because headshots. Yeah, as your aim gets better, Visor gets worse. It's unfortunate, but it's true. You can get a little bit out of it, like some faster reload stuff. You can get a little bit out of it in terms of changes that they've tried to make in terms of how his fall-off damage is affected while he's using Visor, but it's a pretty weak ult. That D.Va Max sleep was so important. Yeah, but at least they did get another decent sleep, and then they did win. Yes. Shooting tanks is what I do as Anna when there's nothing else to do. Exactly. Exactly. I'd rather shoot a tank than reload, but I generally rather reload than shoot a barrier as Anna. You can predict where to shoot Plat Anna. We could go with that, right? Nades are awesome, and I will not waste them when a shot will work just as well on the chalkboard 500 times Plat Anna. Chalkboards? People still have chalkboards? No, okay. Paint the world purple, not yellow, Plat Anna. It's hard to miss Winston with a sleep dart. Yeah, he'll do stuff like jump to try to get evasive, but jumping in some ways really makes him more predictable. And what he'll really do is he'll try to use bubbles, hence double bubble, to be more effective. Their gun mechanics really weren't the worst. It just feels like they panic and it gets significantly worse. I agree. I did not tell them go do a bunch of aim training. That's not what I'm telling them. Like their weapon mechanics are reasonable for Plat. They just get when they're under pressure, it gets bad. So we're going to settle it down, and I'm trying to actually not make the focus mechanical. We're trying to make the focus this, hey, predictive thing, because that will improve your aiming, but it'll improve your aiming without feeling like, oh, I just have to mechanically be better. No, you don't. You just have to think a little bit more in the moment and going into the moment about what's likely to happen. And once you've slept Winston 100 times while having actively thought about how you were going to do it and not just prayed, it's going to be pretty easy to sleep Winston's at that point. Like just from because you've thought the scenario through so many times while doing it. I think you've only told like one or two people to aim trainer. Yeah, it's pretty rare. When do you think the next server scrim will happen? Very soon. In the last 700-ish VOD reviews. Yep. Yeah, I've only seen one, the Bronzana. I think I also did it to a Reaper / Hanzo player, maybe. I think it's actually been 3 times in total. Because I'm not opposed to it. Like, if that is the best way to help someone and I actually think they need to go do it, I will do it, guys. It's just, that's not a common outcome that I'm going for there. Most people will get better at aiming as long as they're putting some focus on it just by playing. If they're not thinking about it all and they're just grinding playing, and that's how people get gold and platinum and diamond borders without having ever really put any effort into their aiming, that sucks for them, but they won't really have improved because they were putting 0 into it. Most people, if you were putting some effort into trying to aim while playing, you will be getting better over time. But there were a few people in particular that I went, this is something you specifically want to work on, or this is something you're going to have to work on, or this is just such a gaping gap in your play that you need to go with it. Okay, I think that's going to do it for now. I hope you guys have enjoyed. Again, if you have, please do like and subscribe. And we did have a visitor today. You've seen him in chat, Stars Filth. So do go check out their channel if you'd like to look at a couple more VOD reviews, because I've VOD review, because I'm probably only going to put one more up today. And you're like, no, I need more. I need to feed the addiction. I need to watch more VODs. Well, there's another place you can go to watch some good ones. Okay, that's going to do it. Thanks, guys. Temporal out.